In John chapter 15, Jesus says something, and y'all know it's very important that I'm at a train station at 1 a.m. so that we can discuss it. This is the chapter where Jesus notably says, abide in me and I in you, right? We know that. Notably in verse 4, he goes on to say, just as the branch is unable to produce fruit unless it remains in the vine, so are you unable to produce fruit unless you remain in me. By the time we get to verse 8, he literally goes on to say, it brings glory to the Father that you what? That you produce fruit and prove to be my disciples. Now, fruit seems to be pretty high on the priority list of Jesus when it comes to teaching the disciples. As a matter of fact, fruit in this instance often being associated with the character attributes that exemplify the character and nature of God, making one sacrificial form of living further proof and evidence of the existence of God, lordship of God, and goodness of God. Okay, because most of us as Christians make the mistake of trying to will our way into the character attributes and behavior that exemplifies fruit without realizing, last time I checked, if a branch is attached to a vine, is it trying to produce fruit? Like, I've never heard of a branch forcibly producing fruit. Even the language that Jesus uses in the text is, you just need to abide in me. Not to say that it's easy to live your life in submission to the scriptures, but it does place priority less on willpower and more on proximity, less on performance or compliance, more on relationship. Because this is where most of us as believers make a very fatal mistake, where we're trying to demonstrate the behaviors often associated with fruit, and we have a hard time doing it, and we start saying, what's wrong with us? Why don't I want to read my Bible? Why don't I want to pray? Why am I still struggling with so much pride? Why do I still have an appetite to go to these environments and answer to them and go there and do this? I'm identifying with what Paul was talking about. What I don't want to do, I do, and what I should do, I don't do. And we're sitting in this Christian tension, and we're trying to willpower our way out of it without even realizing sometimes the problem is not willpower, it's warfare that we have misdiagnosed. Some of us are in a prison of shame that we have mistaken for conviction because our efforts do not seem to be producing the fruit, and we think we got an effort issue when issue ain't the effort. The issue is where the effort is aimed. You trying to break down this stronghold by going over to this gym, and there's nothing wrong with getting strong. I'm telling you, this position will get you strong in the body. It'll get you strong in the mind. But sometimes it's going to have to be this position that gets you strong in the spirit. Sometimes it's going to have to be this position that breaks some things up off for you that this ain't going to break. I'm just trying to tell